Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make house number 5 from my House Roundup free video. If you've not seen that, I'll leave you a link in the description. However, this was the second most popular house that you guys wanted to see made, and thus, it's the second house that I'm going to be showing you how to make. So, if you want to make it, here's what you're going to need. You're going to need birchwood planks, oakwood planks, you're going to need just regular spruce wood, you're also going to need glass pane, glass block. You will also need oakwood stairs and either wooden or iron door. It's really up to you which door you grab, however I would highly suggest the wood. So once you've grabbed those and once you've figured out a place to make it, I'm going to make it right here, you're going to want to start off with a row of 6 birchwood planks in a row going straight up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then, what you're going to do, from the right of that 6th block, you're going to extend it out with the birchwood planks by 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then, what you want to do, from that last block that you placed, you just want to bring it down towards the floor until you... Hopefully a little better than I do. Bring it down towards the floor until you hit the ground, just like that. That sheep was distracting me. So that's what you want to have. You want to have that rectangular archway. Does that even make any sense? Rectangular archway. It sounds like an oxymoron, but it's now a thing. That's what you want to have, the rectangular archway that you can see there. Then, what you want to do, after you've done that, you want to come over to this top right hand corner here, and on top of this block, you're going to want to stack another 6 birchwood planks on top of it, just like keeping in line with the row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just like that. Then, what you're going to want to do, after you've done that, from the top here, you're going to want to find the 3rd block down, so 1, 2, 3, 3rd block down. And from the right of that 3rd block down, you're going to want to go 17 with the birchwood planks. So from the right of this block, 17 with the birchwood planks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 to give you something that looks a little like this. Pause that if necessary, and we can move on. So I know that looks a little weird, but it's going to be a house. Trust me on this one. So after you've done that, once you're sure that you have a shape that looks like that, as weird as it may look, you want to come to where we started off, this block here, and you're going to want to take a sideways on look at it like this. And from the left of the block, so like coming this way, you're going to want to do 16 with your birchwood planks coming this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Just like that. And from here, we're going to build up the back of the house. So that's what it wants to look like as I'm looking from like the back to the front. That's what you want to have. And what we're going to be doing now is we're pretty much going to be copying what we can see on the front there onto the back. So once you're at this point here, from this block here, this is going to be our starting point. I have a feeling that I said that word, starting point. We're going to be doing exactly what we've done. So from here, you're going to want to go 5 up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By the way, I don't really have to count this out for you because all you have to do is really just match up what you have on the front. I'm going to be counting anyway, just in case it helps you. So you've went 5 up from that original block, and you're going to want to go left by 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like that. Then you're going to want to extend that block down to the ground, like that, giving you the rectangular archway, pattern pending. Then, from there, you're going to want to, from this top left-hand corner, you're going to want to go up by 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My dexterity isn't what it usually is today. Then, three blocks from the top of what you've just done. 1, 2, 3. That's the 3rd block down. You're going to want to go left by 17. So get in a better position here. That's still the 3rd block, isn't it? 1, 2, 3. Yep, 17. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And there you go. That is the front and the back all lined out. let me, can I get a better view? Actually, if you take a bird's eye view, you can see if it all matches up. It seems to match up nicely, so I've successfully copied the front onto the back. You know, pause that if necessary. I'm not sure why you'd want to pause it, but maybe you do. Make sure everything's right, and then we can move on. So what you're going to want to do now is you're going to want to come to the side of the house here, and you'll notice how the back and the front are connected by this row of birchwood planks right here. What we want to do is basically we want to do that all around the house now. So for instance, at the top here, on every single corner basically, at the top corner here, you just want to connect the birchwood planks together at the top like that, forming a rectangle. And you're also going to want to do it over here where the birchwood intersects, so here. Hopefully a little better than I am, come on, there we go. And also at the top here. And all the way over here where we extended out by 17, connect these together at the ends as well. So as you can see, we've broke it all up into nice little faces, which what we're going to do now is we're going to fill all of the faces in that we've just made. We're going to be filling them in with birchwood planks, just like this. And, well, there's two reasons that I broke it up, just to set us up for this part. And I like filling like shapes in. I don't know why it is. I don't know what my deal is with this game, but I like things how I like them. And I'd prefer to fill in shapes other than just, I don't know, absent space. I don't know. I don't know why it is. But that's what I'm going to do. Basically, I'm going to be filling all of this in with birchwood plank. I'm not going to show you me doing all of it because, well, you know, I don't want to tack another 5 minutes onto the video. So I will be back once I've done it, and I will show you the end result. So be back shortly. Alright, so that's what our wannabe house should look like once you've filled in all of the faces with birchwood plank. I've done exactly what I said I'd do, nothing special, just went around filling in all of the rectangles that I made in with birchwood plank, and that is exactly what it should look like. Very tedious process. That's actually that's my most disliked part of these tutorials, just having to fill loads of stuff in. But it's got to be done. So once you're at this point here, we've got a couple more structural things to do. So where I've funnily enough ended up without me consciously doing it is where you want to be as well. So you want to be over here on top of the roof, kind of in this position actually. You want to be facing the wall. You want to have your birchwood planks out, and you can start on either the left or the right side of the house. It doesn't really matter, or the front or the back, I should say, not the left or the right. And you want to be one block in here on the top row, and you're going to want to bring the row towards you by 8 blocks. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then once you've done that, that final block can be brought down towards the top of the roof, giving you something that looks like that. Just in case my instructions were a little, you know, sketchy, that's easy enough to do. As I said, 1 block in from the top row, come out by 8, and then straight to the floor. Nothing difficult about that whatsoever. And the reason that it doesn't matter if you're on the left or the right side, once you've done one side, you're going to want to go over to the other side. So one row in from the top, come out by 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then bring it to the roof. So you have done that. Nothing much to it. And then what you're going to want to do at the corner here, you're going to want to connect the front and the backs together, or the left and the right, as the case may be, as we're looking at it right now. So from the corner block here, just connect them together like that. Then what you're going to want to do, in fact, I was going to, you know, do a little bit of filling in there, but what I think I'll do is I will do the last structural part of the house. So what you want to do, you want to come to the front of your house, which should be this side, and you're going to want to come to this the longest like column that we have in the house here. You're going to want to come here, and then what you want to do from that column, you're going to want to leave 4 spaces and go right. So that's 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4 space. So we're going to want to be on the 5th space since we want to leave 4 spaces. And then what you want to do is you want to do a row of 5 birchwood planks going straight up in the air. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. Then what you want to do from that top plank, you want to go 12 to the right with your birchwood planks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like that. And if you've done it correctly, it should line up with the roof right above it. So you want to have that. And just because, you know, I'm a little nitpicky about this stuff, make sure that you have got 4 spaces in between what you've just made and like this left pillar here that is, you know, pretty much the middle of the house. So just do 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, we've done that right. So what you want to do after you've, you know, before I kind of interrupted myself, we came over here, we lined it up with the end of the house. What you want to do, underneath that block, you just want to bring it towards the ground to give you that rectangular archway. Again, patent pending, TM. There you go, that's what you want to have. And then after you've done that, after you make sure that you've done that right, what you're going to want to do is you want to take a sideways view, and from the top block, from the side here, you're going to want to bring it to the right by, I believe it's 16, but what you basically want to do is line it up with the back of the house. It is definitely 16, so come in this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and just to make sure, yep, it lines up with the end of the house. And just like you did on the front, you're going to want to bring that final block down to the ground, like there, to give you another corner of the house. And then what you want to do, as you look at it from the back now, you're going to want to, from that top block, you're going to want to go right by 12. Basically what you want to do is you want to do on the front, except that doesn't make sense. You want to copy what you have on the front onto the back. So from the top here, go right by 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, or alternatively, you know, just line it up with the front and then bring it down to the ground, just like you did on the front to give you the rectangular archway TM. There you go. And to make sure that you've got it right, since it might be, you know, easy to mess it up, I've messed up simpler things. 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, that is perfectly right. So that's what you want to have for the back there. So you might want to pause that if necessary, make sure that you've got that right. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come up to here, where we did this little extension earlier, and we have to fill in the side face. So like, you just want to come to the side bit here, and you're going to want to just fill in this side panel, just with birchwood planks. I'm also contemplating filling in the top, although the top's got a little bit of... the top's got a fair amount of glass in it, so I think that we might just leave that empty and do it the other way around. So you just want to fill in the side like that. That's what you should have for a sideways view like that. And that is pretty much the entire structure of the house finished. What we're going to be doing now, I'm going to be giving you a circle of the house, by the way. Let's turn off the hood and the hand so that you can see what I've got, because the structure of the house is the most important part. If you haven't got something that looks like this, you know, some things I advise that you let go. You know, if you've got a certain amount into it, and you know, just kind of deal with that you've made a mistake, and you know, not to be OCD about it, but really, you've got to get this right, otherwise the rest of your house isn't going to be right. So make sure that yours looks like this. It's a really weird shape, that's why I'm showing you. It's kind of easy to mess up. I've messed up on this before. So, you know, there you go, that's what it wants to look like. And by the way, if you've managed to make it this far into the build, you've done what I would probably consider the hardest part of this house, which is just building up the abstract structure. And what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be building up the walls. And to do that, we're just going to be filling in these individual panels that we have all around the house. And just to clarify, when I say panels, it's pretty much just like the empty shapes that we have around the house. So like these two rectangles here, like this sideways L shape, this other rectangle. When I say panel, I'm just referring to those. So where do we want to start? I'm going to start on the front of the house. I don't know why, it's just another weird compulsion of mine. I like to do the front of the house first. It's logical. There's nothing wrong with that. And where do we want to begin? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. We will start with the bottom left-hand panel. So you want to come down here, pretty much where we first started the house. I guess we've came full circle. So you want to come over to here. You want to take out your spruce wood, and what you want to do, you want to start one block in towards the house. So like this is the most outer block. You want to come one block in, and right next to your birchwood planks, you want to build up a pillar of spruce wood from the floor to the ceiling. So like this. Oops. There we go. So like that. Then what you want to do, after you've done that pillar, you're going to want to do more like it, except you're going to want to space them one in between each other. So you want to leave a gap, then do another one. Leave a gap, do another one, and you just want to do that all up in the panel. So until you reach the other side, until you can't repeat the pattern anymore, you just want to keep doing these spruce wood pillars. So there you go. You should get 6 of them in total. And that's what you want to have so far for that panel. Pause that if you have to. I shan't imagine that you would. And then what you want to do, in the empty spaces that we have now, you just want to put a single oakwood plank at the top of the empty space. So the empty rows, I should say. So just like that. And that's what you want to do for the first panel. And I will note here, if I leave any empty spaces, unless specified, they're going to be later filled in with glass pane. I'm not going to be doing it on recording because glass pane can be quite tricky, quite irritating to work with. I make a lot of mistakes with it. It takes quite a long time to place it as well, so I'll be doing that off recording, but these spaces will have glass pane in them a little later on. So that's the first panel. Pause that if necessary. Let's move on to the next panel. So this next panel is extremely easy and somewhat similar. So just like you did with the previous panel, and I know that the dark's closing in, but we'll deal for this one. You want to start one block in, and you want to do a pillar of spruce wood on the left hand side next to the birchwood planks. But you're also going to want to do the same thing on the other side as well for this. So just do another pillar on the other side like that. Then what you're going to want to do, take out your oakwood planks, and you're going to want to connect the left and right spruce wood together at the top and at the bottom with your oakwood planks to give you a little something that looks like that. And that's all you're going to want to do for that panel. That's it. Very easy. The rest will be filled in with glass pane, and it is getting quite dark now, so I'm going to cut out and I will be back. So as easy as this panel may be, I figured I'd give you a better look at it in the daytime just to make things clear. So that's the top panel just above the one that you've made. Pause that if necessary. Let's move on. So I'm going to be doing the easiest panel of the front of the house, which is this little rectangular panel here, and we're going to be doing a very similar thing as to what we did over there on that top panel. So what you want to do, either the left or right side, it doesn't really matter. You want to, again, one block in, and right next to your birchwood planks, you're going to want to do a spruce wood pillar on the left and right hand side, like that. Then what you want to do, you want to take out your oakwood planks and you want to connect the spruce wood together at the top, just like that. But just to differ from the other panel, you don't want to connect it at the bottom. You just want to connect it at the top, and the rest of that panel will be filled in with glass pane. So pause that if necessary. Let's continue. So once you're finished with that, we can move on to our fourth and final panel, which is right here. And just like with all of the other panels, you're going to want to start off one block in, and you're going to want to take out your spruce wood, and you're going to want to do 2 spruce wood pillars, one on the left and one on the right. And the spruce wood pillars want to span from the floor to the ceiling, just like that. And the only way in which these spruce wood pillars differ is, as you can see, that they span 2 floors. So you want to have that. Then what you want to do is you want to come up to the top portion of this right pillar here, and on top of the rectangular panel that we've just filled in, you're going to want to do several more spruce wood pillars. Just like we did in the first panel, we want to space them one apart from each other. So starting from this right pillar here, leave one space, do a pillar, leave one space, do a pillar, so on and so forth. Just keep doing them until you can't repeat the pattern anymore. And you should find that with the last pillar, yep, it should line up with the spruce wood that we have just below it. So you want to have this so far. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to fill in the spaces that we have, these single spaces, not this double space. We're going to want to fill in these single spaces, and to do that you want to take out your oak wood stairs, and you're going to want to place oak wood stairs at the top and bottom of the spaces. And just as a side note, make sure that the top oak wood stairs are upside down stairs. If you don't know how to do upside down stairs, and I didn't before making this, it has to be placed underneath a block. Like if you try and place it next to the spruce wood like that, it'll just do normal stairs. However, if you place it underneath, you'll have upside down stairs. Most of you guys will probably know that, but I didn't. So that's what you want to do for the singular spaces. Then what you're going to want to do is come over to a nice double space here where the entrance is going to be, and you're going to want to take out a door, and you're going to want to do a double door right there. Then you're going to want to take out birchwood planks and just do 2 birchwood planks above the double door that you should have just placed, leaving you with something like that. And that is pretty much it for our 4th and final panel. Let me give you the best view that I can. There you go, that's what you want to have. And of course, everything else will later be filled in with glass. I'm going to be using glass pane, but you guys can use glass block if you want, it's up to you. So that's the 4th panel. Pause that if necessary, and let me show you what the whole front looks like since we are pretty much finished again, except from the glass. So there you go, that's probably the best view of the front that I can give you. Pause that if necessary, make sure yours looks like that, and we can move on to the back of the house. So coming over to the back of the house, we're going to be doing the exact same thing that we did on the front. Not literally, because, you know, the back isn't a copy of the front, but we're going to be filling in the panels. And where do I want to start? I think I'm going to start on the bottom left-hand corner again. So we're going to be starting with our small rectangular panel. And you know what, actually, the back panels do share a similar trait to the front, in which most of them, actually all of them looking at it, have the spruce wood on the left and right-hand side of the panels. 1 block in, of course, right next to the birchwood plank. So you want to start off by doing that, exactly what I described. Then what you're going to want to do is fill the rest of the panel in with birchwood planks. All 4 rows of it, just throw the planks in there, like so. Then what we're going to do is we're going to knock out 2 very small windows out of these planks that we've just placed. So you want to knock out 2 window spaces like that, exactly there. And you might want to pause that if necessary, because that is the entire panel completed. So again, pause that if necessary, and we can move on to the next panel. And since we're on the left side of the house, it only makes sense that we fill in this left portion. So what you want to do, and this panel is extremely similar to the one that we have on the front, except there's not a door on the back version. You're going to want to start off again with the spruce wood pillars on the left and right hand side, where we have these 2 birchwood planks here that are parallel to the entrance. So you want to start off with those, and then what you're going to want to do is just exactly like you did on the other side, in the exact same order. You're going to want to place the smaller spruce wood pillars that are spaced 1 apart from each other, and they want to keep repeating until they line up with the spruce wood that is on the other side, on the bottom there, like that. So let me just show you exactly like we have on the front, and in fact it should line up with what we have on the front as well. So pause that if necessary. Then what we're going to do, just like we did on the front, you want to take out your oak wood stairs, and you're going to want to place oak wood stairs in the top and bottom spaces of the single space panels, just like that. Then this is where it differs a little bit, because like I said, there's not a door on the back. The door is actually in this panel here. Now what we're going to want to do is take out our birchwood planks, and you're going to want to place birchwood on the bottom and top space of the panel, like that. And then what you're going to want to do from either side, the top or the bottom, doesn't really matter, you want to leave a space of 2. So going down, I'm starting from the top, leave a space of 2, and you're going to want to do 3 rows of birchwood planks. So you want to have that. And let me just show you what the whole of the panel that we've just done looks like. There we go. And of course, again, I really shouldn't keep saying this, but I'm going to. Everything else will be filled in with glass pane, so pause that if necessary. We're going to be moving on to the back entrance, which is right here. So what you want to do, again, take out your spruce wood. I'm getting sick of saying this. Take out your spruce wood, 1 block in on the left and right side, do spruce wood pillars. So here as well, like that. Then what you want to do, this next bit's kind of tricky to explain, but it's really easy to see. You want to take out your oak wood planks and you want to connect the spruce wood pillars together at the top like that. And then here's where the tricky bit comes in. The bit that I'm not even going to try and explain. Really easy to do though. You'll see what I've done after I've placed it. So you want to do that, and this, and then that. So you want to do that with the woods. Very easy to do, just kind of hard to explain is all. So pause that if necessary. Then what you're going to want to do is take out your door, and in this space of 3 that we have here, place a door in the middle, and then just as a side note, I will do this now. Next to the door, you can't place glass pane next to the door because this happens. You see, it won't connect to the door, so you've got to use glass block. So use glass block next to the door, and then the space that you can see above it will be filled in a lot later on with glass pane. So that is that panel done. Pause that if necessary. Extremely easy. Just the last panel to do now, and this panel is almost identical to the panel that we have there on the other side that we can see now, except there is one subtle difference. So again, just like with the other panels, really getting sick of saying this, do the 2 spruce wood pillars on the left and the right hand side, spaced 1 in. Yeah, I almost got that wrong then. I kind of got confused why there was 2 spaces on the left hand side, but I remembered that it's spaced in 1 from the right hand side, not the left hand side. Silly mistake. And then what you're going to want to do is, after you've placed your 2 spruce wood pillars on the left and right, you're going to want to place another pillar slap bang in the middle of them. So right there. Then once you've done that, you just want to have the oak wood planks run on the bottom and top, connecting all of the spruce wood together like that. And just in time for the bell, the sun is coming down. So what you want to do after that is, of course, just fill it in with glass pane. So let me show you the whole back. As a matter of fact, I'll show you the whole back once the sun comes up, so I will be back very shortly. So this is what the back of your house wants to look like once it's all filled in. Pause that if necessary. Now we can move on to the sides. So do we want to start on the harder or the easier side first? I think we'll start on the harder side. So if you're on the back of the house, you want to come over to the left side, and if you're on the front, you want to come over to the right. Regardless, you want to come over to the side that looks exactly like this. And when I say that's the harder side, it's harder in comparison to the other side of the house. This is easy, but the other side is easier. So what you want to do is... we'll start on the bottom panel, shall we? So what you want to do on the bottom panel, next to your spruce wood pillar, so you can start either side, by the way, it doesn't really matter. Next to your spruce wood pillar, with your birchwood planks, you're going to want to do a birchwood pillar right next to it like that. And then from that pillar, you're going to want to, similar to how we did on the front and the back, to come to think of it, you're going to want to do multiple pillars, and you're going to want to space them one apart from each other. And you're just going to want to keep doing that until you hit the other side. And when I say hit the other side, I mean quite literally, because your final pillar should sit right next to your spruce wood pillar, like this. Then, what you're going to want to do after you've done that, you're going to want to take out your spruce wood, and where you have spaces in between the pillars, you're going to want to place a single spruce wood at the top and bottom of the spaces, leaving 2 spaces in between them. So, like this, just going up and down the row, like that. And that's what you want to have for the bottom panel of the side. So pause that if necessary, and of course glass pane's going to be going in the middle two spaces. So again, pause that if necessary. Let's move on to the top. So the top is extremely easy because we've done it before. What we're basically going to be doing on the top side of the house is we're going to be doing what we've done on the front and the back. We're going to be taking out our spruce wood, and from the left or the right side, it doesn't matter, we're going to be doing spruce wood pillars spaced one apart from each other, all the way across. So, just like this, all the way across. There we go. Until you have something that looks like that. Then what you're going to want to do is the exact same thing that you did on the front and the back. You're going to want to take out your oak wood stairs, and you're going to want to do a set of oak wood stairs at the top and the bottom of the spaces in between your spruce wood pillars. So exactly like that, and I will give you the exact same warning that I've given you 2 other times. You want the top stairs to be upside down stairs. So pause that if necessary. That's what you want for the top, and as a matter of fact I'll show you the whole side as well. There you go, that's what the whole side wants to look like. Pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, you can move over to the other side of the house. Alright, so once you've finished this side of the house, it's time to move over to the opposite side. So come all the way over here, over to the plain side of the house, and shall we start with the bottom and the top? Let's start with the bottom. We did the bottom first on the other side, we may as well do it on this side as well. So come down to the bottom panel, and then come down to the bottom left hand corner of the bottom panel, so right here, highlight the block. Then what you want to do is you want to go 2 rows above what you've got highlighted, so 1 row, 2 row. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find the 4th block into the row, so 1, 2, 3, 4. What you then want to do is you want to knock out that block, then you want to knock out every other subsequent block of the row except the last 3. What you basically want to do is you want to find the 3rd row, and then you just want to knock out every block that isn't the 3 on the left and the right hand side of the row. So you want to do that, and that is everything. All we're going to do after this is we're going to fill that in with glass, and then, you know, there's nothing left to do with that panel. So pause that if necessary. Let's move on. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do this top panel, and similar to how we did the bottom one, you want to come down to the bottom left hand corner. So come down to here, highlight the block. Now what you want to do is you want to find the 8th block in. So this is the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. You want to knock out that block and the one directly above it there, and then you just want to place a door there. And that's all you want to do for the top panel. You want to have that. And there is nothing much to it. I told you this was the easier side. Absolutely nothing to this side. So let me show you that all together. And just to reiterate the top panel, you want to find the 8th block in from the left hand side, the 8th block in, knock out the, you know, the bottom and the 2nd row of the 8th block in, just place a door there, and there you go. So that is the whole left side together. Pause that if necessary, I shouldn't imagine that you would. Alright, so once you've finished with this side of the house, there's only a few things left for us to do. We can either do the roof of the extension or the side window of the extension. I think we'll start with the side window. So what you want to do is you want to come over to the big flat portion of your roof here, and you want to look towards the extension, and you should notice that we've got these 2 rows sticking up. And what we're going to do with this bottom row here, we're going to be doing something similar to what we did on the bottom panel of the side of the house that we've just done, except we're going to be leaving 2 blocks either side. So you're on the bottom row of these 2 rows, and you just want to leave 2 blocks alone on each side of the row. So you want to knock out every other block of the row except 2 each side, like that. Then what you want to do is take out your spruce wood, and it doesn't really matter which side you start on, just like so many things of this house, because it's just a repeating pattern. And right next to your birch wood, right next to the 2 blocks that you should have left alone, you just want to do a spruce wood, and then you want to keep doing spruce woods, and you want to space them 2 apart from each other. So 1, 2, spruce wood, 1, 2, spruce wood, and you just want to keep repeating the pattern until you hit the other side. And I do mean quite literally hit, because you should be right next to the birchwood planks. So that's what you want to have for the side window of the extension. Pause that if necessary. And that is it for the side window. Everything else will just be filled in with glass pane. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the roof of the extension. And again, I keep saying the same things. You can start on either the left or the right side. It doesn't matter. It's just a repeating pattern, or the front and the back as the case may be. I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to be looking at it like this way, and I'm going to be starting from the back. So this is what you want to do for the roof of your extension. What you want to do is you want to make the, well, I suppose it's the second row, but the first row that you're going to be filling in, you want to make entirely spruce wood. So that's what you want to do. Then what you want to do for the next 2 rows, you just want to fill in the most left and right block of the row. So what I mean by that is this. So you just want to fill in like the most left and right block, like that, and you want to do that for 2 rows. And then what you want to do for the next row is it just wants to be completely spruce wood. You want to do that. Then what you want to do for the next 2 rows is just, you know, a single birchwood plank on each side for the next 2 rows, and then you want to do spruce wood. And you guys can probably see how this pattern's shaping up, so I'm just going to continue the pattern. You just want to keep doing 1 entire row of spruce wood, and then 2 rows of a single birchwood plank either side until you hit the other side of the house, and it should finish by you just doing an entire row of spruce wood. So this is what it looks like from above, just in case you guys didn't really get what I was talking about with doing that. That's what you want to have, that's what it wants to look like from a bird's eye view. Extremely easy, nothing to it whatsoever. So pause that if necessary, let's move on. So at this point in time, all we have to do, including the roof, I'm not sure if I mentioned, the rest of the roof will just be filled in with glass. What we're going to be doing now is we're just going to be, or at least I'm going to be, I don't know whether you guys will have been adding in the glass as you've went, but what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding in glass pane to every space in the house, except for the roof. The roof's going to have to be filled in with just normal glass block. But everything, every space that you can see around the house is just going to be filled in with glass, and this is going to be an extremely tedious process. So I will be back after I've filled it in. I imagine it's going to take a bit of time. Alright, so as you can see, I've finished adding in all of the glass to the house. That was extremely tedious. I hate glass pane. As a matter of fact, I don't think that there's a building material in this game that I hate any more than glass pane. No, I just had a bit of a think about it. There's nothing. I really do hate it that much. So I've just been all around the house, occupying all of the empty spaces with some form of glass, and that includes the roof as well. I had to use glass block for the roof, obviously, as most of you guys will know, because if you use glass pane, you get this weird little crisscrossy shape instead of solid glass, which isn't really an effective roofing material, so I've got to use glass block for the roof. And the little side window is also filled in as well, don't forget that. And that's pretty much it. The house is now airtight. It could go underwater if it so chose. And that is pretty much it for the outside of the house. There's nothing really left to add. I mean, you could add some things for aesthetic purposes, like some torches, maybe a garden, maybe some vines and such, but that will come a little later on. The actual structure of the house is done. It's finito. That's the entire outside of the house. We've only got a couple of things left to do, and that's on the inside of the house. So go to the inside of your house, and I would shut the doors behind you because I don't know about you guys, but I'm prone to animal invaders. And as a matter of fact, no, I'm fine. I thought that we may have had some cow intruders. I don't know why, but it's always the cows. The cows like to invade my property. So, as I said, there's 2 things to do, and both of them are floors. So the first thing is I'm going to be knocking out the entire ground floor of the house, and I'm going to be replacing it with oak wood planks. So the entire floor, I'll be knocking this through the grass blocks, and I'll just be replacing it with wooden planks like this. And as a side note, because I'm not going to be doing this on recording, it's going to take too long. And as a side note, if you're putting in a new floor as well, remember to do underneath your windows. So underneath the glass pane, remember to use your new material. And the same goes for doors as well, as a matter of fact. Remember to replace the material underneath your doors, because it just looks that little bit better if you have your floor material underneath the windows and the doors as well. Because I don't know about you guys, I'm prone to forgetting these little things. So that's the first thing. The entire ground floor is going to be knocked out, and to remember to, if you are redoing it, to knock out underneath the windows. The second thing is I'm going to be showing you where the second floor is going to be going, because it might not be apparent to some of you where the second floor is actually designed to go. So as you can see, as you look like towards the front of the house and around quite a lot of the house, well, at least this half, there's like a part of the house where you can see the birchwood planks on the outside of the house. It's kind of sunk in, it's separated, it's sandwiched in between these oak wood planks and the spruce wood and such. You can see where I mean. It's the crevice where you can see the birchwood. This is where the floor's supposed to go. It's supposed to line up with this crevice. And all I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to obviously put the floor in, and it's going to span the entire row of the house. It's supposed to, and I'm just going to be adding in the floor. So all the way down there, it's going to go all the way down. And the third thing, I did say two things, but the third thing, I'm going to be knocking through into here. I'm actually doing this now. I'm saying that I'm going to be doing it, but I am doing it. I'm going to be knocking into here. It doesn't really matter where you make the doorway into this. I was just about to call it the third floor, but it's not really. It's a bit of an extension onto the second floor. It doesn't line up with the floor, so you're going to have to put in some stairs or you know, a step, some way of getting up to here. But you just want to knock through so you can get onto here and onto the little balcony of the house. And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. All I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing the ground floor and this floor. So I'll probably be putting some stairs in as well so I can show you guys what I've done. So I'm going to be doing exactly that. And once I finish, I'll be back to show you the end result. So as you guys can see, I finished doing the floors. I knocked out all of the grass blocks out of the ground floor, replaced it all with oak wood planks. Looks pretty good in my opinion. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this up to this point. I like to try and mention this at least once in the videos. Whatever you guys like as a building material, I would suggest using. And what I mean by that is, for instance, this birchwood plank that you can see on the outside of the house. If you think that red wool would look better, then use red wool. Adapt the house, adapt my creations, adapt the creations on the channel to however you think that they should look, however you want them to look. So if you want the floor to be glowstone, make the floor glowstone. If you want the if you want the windows, if you don't want it to have windows, if you want to replace it with lapis lazuli, do that. Adapt it to how you want it to look. But anyway, as you can see, the whole floor is now oak wood planks. I like the oak wood planks, and as you can see underneath the windows, I think that it just makes it look that 5% better. You know, making sure that you do underneath the windows. I don't like the grass underneath the windows. So that's the entire ground floor. That's what it should look like when it's all done. And I added in a crude set of stairs so that you guys could take a look what it looks like upstairs as well. It's just the floor. It's just added in exactly where it's supposed to be, sandwiched in between the spruce wood pillars and the spruce wood pillars underneath. And I also added in those stairs as well so that we could get into this room, so that we could get onto the balcony, which is right here. And on that note, that is pretty much the tutorial portion of this video finished, completo, finito. There's nothing more that I feel that I need. And on that And on that note, I feel as though that's the tutorial portion of this video completed, finito, finished. There's no more. I don't feel as though that there's anything else I can really show you guys. I mean, I know that you guys are going to say, can you please do the interior? Can you show us what an interior would look like? I'm not going to show you how to build an interior. I feel as though it might be quite well known unless this is the first house tutorial that you've watched. I hate doing interiors. I really do. I can't stand doing them. They're not my deal. I like doing the shells of the houses. That's what I enjoy doing. I'm never going to be doing an interior for you. However, if you did come here from my house roundup free video, and again, as I said at the start of the video, I'll leave the link for that in the description. If you saw that house and you wanted, you know, a carbon copy of that house, what I'm going to do, now that the tutorial portion of this is finished, I'm going to give you a tour around the original version of this house, and I'm going to show you what that looks like, so you'll get to see the, you know, the little garden that's around it in the interior. I'm not going to be showing you how to do it, but I will show you what it looks like. So if you guys aren't interested in that, if all you wanted to do was have this so that you can adapt it to how you want, I will say thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope that it was easy to follow. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I will see you very shortly. Alrighty then, so for those of you that wanted a 100% carbon copy of the house that you may have seen on the House Roundup free video, again, link in the description, this is the original house. As you can see from the little signpost that says 5 in front of it, and you've got the niceties around the house that the previous house that I've just made just doesn't have. So I'm going to be giving you a very thorough look around the outside and the inside of the house. I'm not going to be showing you how to build any of it, I'm just giving you a very thorough look so that you guys can take the initiative and just build it yourself if you so choose. So let's start with the outside, like I said. So the first thing that you may notice is around the outside of the house you've got the, I believe that is, yeah, it would seem to be either oak leaves or jungle leaves. That makes a hedge that goes all the way around the outside of the house, and I can tell you that just by looking underneath those as well, if you are going to add the hedge, underneath that you'll want to knock out underneath where you're going to place it, and you're going to want to place under it some either, you know, some sort of wooden block, spruce wood, oak wood blocks, so that you get the proper effect. And as you can see that there's also a path that goes from the front to the back of the house. I might give you a better look at that just in case. Again, some of you may want a 100% carbon copy, I don't know. The path just runs from the front of the house, hooks around the right side of the house, and comes to the back entrance of the house. Like that. And as you can see, I've not mentioned, you've also got some potted plants there, and you guys should know how to make that. It's just a normal, well, some of those are wood. That's that middle one's jungle wood. Got a dirt block there, or grass blocks rather. You've got grass blocks in 2 of them. Got the jungle wood block for the middle one. You just place a block, you place trapdoors all around, and then you place whatever on top. You've got the, what is that on top of those? It would probably be grass block placed on top of there, and you've got some sort of leaf on top of there. I would hasten to say jungle leaf, but I might be wrong there. So you've got the plants on the back of the house there, underneath the windows, and where a third window would go in the middle. That'd be a perfect place for a third window, although it would be covered by the plant. So you've just got the plants added on to that side, and then on this side, as you can see that the hedge gets a little crazy on this side underneath the window, and you could probably quite easily copy that block for block if you wanted to. That seems quite easy to do. Just use a window to line it up and you should have no problem whatsoever. And I'm not sure if you noticed, but the hedge that goes around the house, actually it's right next to the house on this side, because there's no path going around this side, however there is on the other side. So you may want to add that in, you may not. And the last thing that I have to show you on the outside of the house, on the balcony, or at least I'm calling it a balcony, I suppose it is. It's not a very safe one. You could definitely fall off the side of it and die. Well, actually, you probably wouldn't die. You'd either fall on the sheet, or you would just quite simply just almost stand up, since it's not very high. However, on the balcony you've got more potted plants, and again, these are just jungle wood block, with some leaves on top, trapdoors all around, and you know the trapdoors, when you place them, they'll be like that, and then you click the trapdoors and you'll have your potted plants. So that is pretty much the entire outside of the house. There's nothing really much to it whatsoever. The interior isn't as well done as it is on house number 4, for example, and if you've not seen that tutorial, if you're interested in that house, there is that video on the channel. It's just search for house number 4 and it should come up. But anyway, time to go and have a look at the inside of the house. So that's the entire outside done. Let's have a look. We'll close the doors before we get invaded. And as you can see, there's a couple of differences between the inside of this and the inside of mine. So let me give you a look from like this side first. So as you can see, an arch has been added with the oak wood plank blocks and upside down stairs. An arch has been added just to add a bit of shape to the room, bit of character. Over here you've got some carpet added in, you've got some torches, you've got the paintings, you've got the seats. If you guys don't know how to make the seats, it's very simple. That is just stairs. Are they spruce wood stairs? Let me see. Yeah, they're spruce wood stairs with signposts added onto the side, blank signposts. So you guys should be able to do that quite easily enough. And I'll give you a view of the room from this side as well, just in case you want it. Pause that if necessary. And another main difference that you may notice between this house and the other house is this wall is actually built up in this one. I left it alone in mine, but it's built up here, and you've got the stairs next to it. You've got a little, spruce wood walkway. You come through here, and you have a pool inside of the house. I like this idea. I like pools. Quite easy to do. That's probably the best view that you'll get. You've just got some spruce wood there. Sandwiched between them, you've got a torch just for a bit of light, and as you can see, it's pretty easy to work out how you make the pool. You've just got, you've got the hole dug out, and then you line it with birchwood planks, and then you throw the water in the middle. Quite easy, nothing much to it. There's not even that much light added to this part of the house, actually. So that's this room. I'll give you another view if you want. There you go. And that is the entire downstairs. Nothing much to it whatsoever, just plenty of light, nice and lit up. It's not too crowded. I like the inside. It's more than I'd ever do. So, as you can see here, we have the stairs, and I'm going to give you a close-up. I just saw the sheep on the outside of the window. He wants in. I know he does. He's miring the house. So, that's the stairs. That's a sideways view of it, just in case you want to replicate the stairs in any way, shape or form. And as you can see, it's got the fence added, just to make a bit of a barrier. I've got flight on, so I can get past it, but it stopped you falling off. Stairs made of spruce wood stairs, a little bit here as well. You've got a bit of a banister around the top, so you can look down. It's carved out a little more than my stairs were. My stairs were kind of just filler stairs, to be honest with you anyway. I didn't really put any effort into them. But this one is a lot more planned. As you can see, got the giant space, got the banister all around, and he's also done a relatively smart thing here. He's from the front window, he's knocked away a little bit, knocked out a couple of rows of the floor, which looks a little better from the outside looking in, by the way. And let me just show you this room. You know what, there is no point in me showing you this room, since the only things added up here are torches. Maybe you got a little lazy, who knows? Still, more than I've done by giving a bit of a shape. You can add whatever you want up here, could do whatever. So this is the upstairs, and as a result of, knocking the floor back a couple of blocks, it just makes a little nice walkway over to this part. So this part is apparently where a little bit more effort's been added in. As you can see, there's some upside down stairs added there to give you a bit of an archway for the roof. Makes it look a little bit better. Paintings added, a little bit of light, chest, bookcases, quite standard. I'll give you a view. It's probably the best view that you're going to get from this side. And on this side, you have this. And that is pretty much it. Just lead out onto the balcony. That's all I have to show you. The reason that I've shown you that, just if you wanted some ideas, if you wanted to copy the house, either one, you now have some ideas. and you can now copy the house. It's pretty simple, nothing's too difficult to make. You're probably going to have to pause a decent amount, but there you go, that's the house. It's a nice one. I'd like to say it's my second favourite, but that'd be a lie. My second favourite is sat right over there, that little miniature house. I love miniature houses. And that'll probably get made next. I have yet to have a look at the comments again. I know that the two favourites were in this order 4 and 5, so I'll have to revisit the video. But I think it's free next. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, we're not making it in my favourite order. We're making it in your favourite order. So that's the entire house. I've been rambling on a lot. I know. I'm sorry. So again, if you like this video, if you found it easy to follow, I hope that it was. Feel free to throw a like, subscribe, favourite, whatever you guys want to do. I don't want to pressure you into doing anything. You guys just watching the video is more than I could ever ask for. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, maybe you should think about subscribing. I have plenty more stuff like this on my channel. I have tutorials ranging from YouTube statues, skin statues, houses, pixel art, the list goes on. Thanks for watching.